karma, complexions, and Star is a publicity whore. All that in episode 5 of Star.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
This one's okay.
Mainly because it reminds me of Amy Winehouse.
Yeah, it does. It does. I see that. Well, welcome to the Star After Show. We have an amazing and very fun-filled and interesting show tonight. Before I introduce my co-host, my name is Raquel Harris, and I will introduce my co-host now.
Hi, I am Jill Munroe. You can find me everywhere on social media at Stiletto Jill. Hit me up.
Hey everyone, it's Ivanna. You can find me on Twitter at Ivanna L. Williams and on Instagram at Ivanna.Williams.
Hey guys, my name is Sheldon White. You can find me on all social media at Sheldon White 2, and I am so happy to be back today.
The group is all together.
We are here.
Yes.
Right, and before we jump in, my name again is Raquel Harris, and you can find me on all social media at Raquel Harris TV. So this is a pretty interesting and controversial episode. So
Yes, it is.
Here we go.
I know. So I wanted to jump into Carlotta's monologue in the beginning, where she's kind of like. She's kind of she's in remorse about, you know, having to take care of Otis, and it was interesting because she feels like secrets are best buried. Do you agree? I have to ask you guys up front. Do you think that secrets are best buried?
I think in this kind of situation, yes. Like the least, like a couple people know a couple things, but if people just keep their mouth shut, if you get questioned, you don't have the answer. You know what I'm saying? So
Plausible
I like that.
deniability. Isn't that what it is? Plausible
I'll go with that.
Yeah,
that
sure.
sounds real good
It
to me.
sounds good.
I mean, I think that there are definitely times when some things are best left undiscussed. You know, everything doesn't have to be sorted out all of the time. Or rather, there's a time and a place for it. And currently, as far as Otis goes, it's not the time or the place.
Nope.
Not at all.
I say that this secret in general needs to be kept, you know, buried, but at the same time, in general, I do think that I'm not a good secret keeper. I'm not.
either.
I'm not. Like, I mean, like,
You always spill the beans?
No. Like, I don't spill the
Oh.
beans. Like, if it's like my best friend, or if it's like, if you tell me specifically, do not say
Okay.
this.
Right.
So then that means that there's a time and a place for secrets.
No, we need to be friends with her.
No, you can absolutely.
She can't
I'm
hold
a
water?
good. I can hold water, but at the same time, I don't like that pressure of having a secret that I like. I don't want to be a part of any of it.
good,
Like,
juicy
yeah,
secret,
I'm in it and I'm not in it. Like, don't put me in. I don't.
Don't share that information with me if you
Look.
do not want it to come out. How about
Oh,
that?
no.
Just give it like a couple days.
I will not spill the beans, but I'm very like, look, I don't want any negativity around me. Don't put it, like, I feel like you shouldn't tell someone anything that you really don't want them to know or anyone else to know, because at the end of the
can see
day,
that.
I don't think anyone can hold water.
A
Period.
secret is only a secret
don't.
if one person knows.
Yes.
Because everybody has that really good friend
That's
that
true.
they know
That's
isn't
true.
going to tell anybody,
Yeah.
and that person also has a really good friend that
Exactly.
they know isn't going to
Exactly.
tell
Yeah.
anybody.
Exactly.
So,
Because then it's like,
that's
on
how
top
it
of that,
spreads.
like, if you have, like, even if you're in a relationship, you always end up saying, like, oh, well, so-and-so did this, and then that person might be mutual
talking.
friends. Right, exactly. So me personally, I just try to avoid, you know,
All of
secrets
it.
altogether.
Oh, okay.
Is this
Right.
a conversation
I
for the
mean-
room or a conversation for you?
You
We need
know-
to establish those boundaries first.
But, like, if it's, like, something like, I don't know, something crazy, like killing someone, I would definitely keep that secret. But at the same time, I'd be like, look,
Don't tell me
I
that.
would keep a secret.
Don't tell me that.
I would keep that secret.
Do you know what I mean? I do not want to be a ride or die. I have questions. Where are we going? How are we going to get
How long we
there?
gonna
Is
be
there money
gone?
for lawyers?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's a secret I don't want any parts of.
Okay.
True, no, that's valid. That's valid. I'll give you
I don't
that.
want to know either.
Right,
Not
right.
at all.
So
Nothing
we go.
that ends up with jail time.
Yeah, that's okay.
That's
right.
major key.
No, right. That's very, very true. So we jump to the girls at the photo shoot, and we kind of touch on complexion. The photographer keeps powdering Alex's face. Now she's the darker skinned, you know, girl of the group, which this
Beautiful.
upset. Yes, she is beautiful. Black is beautiful. The darker the berry, the sweeter the juice. There's nothing wrong with that at all.
And
but
we're all
so
light skinned.
honestly, hey,
We appreciate
we got
One by one.
We
Look,
still
we
have
can
melanin,
appreciate the
but we
full spectrum.
exactly,
Yeah, so
exactly.
And I don't feel like,
Absolutely.
you know, I guess the main idea is kind of that we can appreciate the full spectrum, and we know what the photographer was doing by trying to powder her down.
Exactly, and then
So
he was
annoying.
denying it.
100%.
Yeah, he was denying it, and it's just like, no, you know exactly what you're doing. And then what's crazy is Star is like, oh no, it's a part of your imagination. Of course, you
Because
think
she
that
doesn't recognize
Do you
it.
think she doesn't recognize it, or she just doesn't want to address it? That's what I
think she
wonder.
doesn't.
Go ahead. I mean, I personally think that it's a little bit of both. I think that she does know about racism and how different different complexions are favored over others. But at the same time, I think she does kind of put it in the back burner of her mind, like, okay, whatever. I'm just trying to make this
I don't
money.
think she's very keen on picking up on racial microaggressions.
Right.
Like if somebody was to
Right.
straight up call her and her sister, the N-word, then yes, she understands that. But
Right.
whenever it's
Right.
smaller
The little
microaggressions,
things.
she don't get that.
Not little things.
Yeah,
the
because
microaggressions.
She's definitely
I
in
think-
denial.
Yeah, and I think that has to do with, one, her privilege not only as a white girl, but as the special snowflake kind of Star is used to sort
Yes.
of getting the attention
Right.
or using, certain things to have the attention focused on her.
Right.
So in the photo shoot, when this is happening, I don't think she's attributing it so much to, no, they're trying to put Alex back because of her skin complexion. It's more, Alex is tripping because I'm the center.
Right.
They're trying to
Exactly.
focusing on me, so
Yeah.
she's just using it for attention.
And they keep switching them around too and
Yeah.
putting her in the middle, which we'll get into that later about how like the lead. Well, because I want to ask
And
you guys
it
about
begins.
that. Yes, and it begins.
Every group,
Every one of
And
them.
see, and I was very upset though with Star because even your sister said something, and she's
Right.
the biracial one, and she's like, no, Star, he's focusing on the light brights.
Yeah.
So why is it that? And in my mind too, it's just for the white audience. These things really do happen. It's not in anyone's imagination. People who you have to understand that we're not just creating problems.
Oh, it's
just
not made up. Like
Right.
this is what we go through literally every day.
Literally, and again, shout out to Lee Daniels for highlighting that because complexion issues, or even within the Black community,
Yeah.
being light skinned and being dark skinned is a very huge issue, and but neither side really has it that easy. I know as a light skinned person growing up, I dealt with issues of not being Black enough.
Right.
So, and then the dark skinned person's like, oh well, I can't move forward in life, but at the same time, I'm not being accepted within my own community. So I think that it opens up a very, very big conversation with Black people. So I'm.
With colorism in general, definitely.
Yeah.
And the way that they kept pushing her off, it's like she was literally becoming like a shadow
Yeah.
to me. And that's what was
An
just so
afterthought,
annoying.
yeah.
Yes, and I'd seen that too with my own peers. Like when I would take pictures, they would push my darker skinned friends over to the side too.
Right.
So I was able to connect with that, even just something from my childhood, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll kind of touch on that again later on the show, too. So while the girls are cleaning up, Carlotta discusses Jahil because Jahil keeps calling Star about the task that they had to do, and Star's like, oh, why does he keep calling me? And not Jahil, Carlotta said, right, everybody's calling. Carlotta says, no, whenever Jahil picks up, you need to answer, period, point blank, because one, you kind of got us in this mess in the first place, and
Yeah.
we're now cleaning it up, but and it's so weird because I feel like Star, as the episodes continue, she gets more and more vain.
She's
and
irritating.
God, she's so annoying, right?
She
Can we
is.
finally admit that?
Yeah.
It's just so weird. Like it's really, and the Star or the show perfectly identifies who she is. She's just like, oh, it's me, I'm fabulous. I really think that eventually she's gonna turn on Simone too. I really do.
I can see that. No,
Ooh,
absolutely.
I don't want
I
that to
can see
happen.
that.
I do.
It's going to happen.
I think so
Probably
too.
will. I
Season
mean-
2, it's gonna happen because
Because in real life, when people are in singing groups, if it's like their brothers or it's sisters, cousins, and stuff, they do kind of turn on each other too.
Yeah.
It's anybody really. You see it in talk show pairings. Look at what happened with Kelly Ripa and Michael Strahan.
Ooh, that was
just
nasty.
Anything that
Yeah.
you can think of where there are people that have to work together closely and their success is sort of balanced on
Yeah.
each other.
Yeah.
If someone is being pushed to the forefront, someone else is going to have emotions about it. Maybe not at the start, but eventually it's going to wear them down. Because I don't believe that Alex really had an issue with Star sort of, they were rotating leads and centerpiece and everybody was contributing. But I think as it's going further and further along and Alex is doing the song arrangements and things like that,
Right.
she's kind of like,
it's this, yeah.
Right.
This
What's
thing
going
that's
on?
constantly
Yeah.
building. Like, it
Yeah.
starts off small, and then little things just keep
Right.
picking at you until you're right, until your emotions take over.
And I feel like, too, Star acts like she doesn't recognize all the talent that the other two girls bring. Like, I know Simone's a little shaky, but Alex is producing, mixing different things. She has the
Right.
connections.
She's honestly doing more than all of
Than
them.
what
She
is.
has
Yeah.
a lot
She
more
is.
talent.
Exactly.
I think Star is.
Okay.
I think Star is so into survival mode with
Yeah,
everything
still.
that she doesn't really think long term. She thinks, how can I get myself to the next moment, to the
Yeah.
next moment, to the next
Exactly.
moment, without the consequences of everything. And so
I don't think she's in survival mode anymore. I think that she's just living in the moment, and I think she's soaking up as much as she can. I think that she's now, like, if you give her an inch, she'll take a mile, which she did.
we see.
Right,
Oh, God.
which we see.
Absolutely.
And I feel like Stars, her privilege on a wide range of spectrums is benefiting her. And so I'm kind of like, this episode solidified how I really feel about Star, because I'm just like, wow, it just, and which kind of goes into, because I know people had like a really big issue with Lee Daniels when he went on the reel and discussed like, oh, she's going to be the person that saves race relations in America and whatever.
Yeah.
You know, and that was like a big thing, but it does kind of open my eyes, though, because what people probably thought Star was going to be on the show ended up not being what we
Right.
thought she was going to be.
Does this make white people feel good, or
I think that
I don't
he's using.
think-
I think that he's using Star's actions and then some of the scenarios to kind of open up conversations
Yep.
like these,
Yeah.
where we discuss colorism from a different perspective, and where you can see
Yep.
things in sort of Star's obliviousness.
Sure.
That's a tongue twister. To certain situations, and it's kind of a reflection of what happens in society, where they can only see in their group, but they don't see the bigger picture
Right.
that
Right.
these things are happening.
Come on and preach now.
And, hey, no,
Every now
I
and
was
again.
like, hey.
Every now and again.
Yeah, right. So,
we
and
got
moving forward, Simone finds old videotapes and pictures of her mother, which is
Yes.
really, really nice to see. We finally we're starting to tap more into the backstory of what really went down between Carlotta and Mary. Right.
Mixed
so,
harmony.
Mixed harmony, right, exactly.
Harmony.
And Simone brings it to Star and says, oh, I want to perform this song. And Star's just being like a brat again, saying that, like, and it's just like, who told you that you were in charge ever?
Shout
like,
out to Carlotta with her 90s braids. Sorry. Just have to mention Carlotta was giving full poetic justice.
she was, yeah, she blew, right. Hashtag, we can't say it anymore because you took it out, the blue clip weave. I know, we can't say it anymore. It's
Red
okay.
Bob.
Right, wait,
Red
was she
Bob.
a red bob?
She had a red bob,
Okay.
her red
I
Dora
liked
bob
the
tonight.
bob.
No, you like
Her
the one
red
at
bob.
the end, the red bob towards
No,
the
I
beginning.
saw that first one. I like
You
the first one
did?
too.
Okay.
I didn't, wait, I didn't.
It was a little Dora for me. You know that I like the concept
I
of a
saw the
bob. I
Twitter
even like the
comments,
concept
I
of
know.
the red, but it felt a little Dora-ish
saw
for
the
me.
Twitter
That was kind of
comments.
what I that's what I felt when I saw it. I was like,
It was.
But I liked her short bus lady haircut.
Yeah.
Wig. That one was cute.
Yeah.
With the glue.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Anyway.
Right, hey, we just
Hashtag
had a
Carlotta's
moment.
wigs. Hashtag
No,
Carlotta's
really.
That's
They,
wigs.
well, I
gotta-
promise you,
yeah.
like, once the season ends, they'll have, like, just an array of Carlotta's wigs just
I
to
hope
buy.
so.
That would be hilarious.
They
Low-key,
should.
Yeah.
Halloween.
For real.
2017. That's we all need to just come back. Come back with
I'm gonna
everything.
be Cotton.
Oh, that's not fair. I know. I would love to be Cotton. Cotton would be cool though. That would be a
would be
nice
cool.
one. But then it's like, how would you pull that off?
You know. Anyway, moving back to
Right,
the
right. I mean, hey, whatever. I really wanted to touch on really quick because Derek, I love how he's so very like passionate
Fine.
about.
Oh.
Well, you know that
Okay.
too.
Hashtag shout out Quincy Brown.
That too, Ivanna.
Sorry,
That
my
you know,
bad.
hey, you know, I don't even know what to say, but
We just like to mention things that we know that you are observing as well.
yeah, you know, and hey,
That's why we're here.
He's a very good looking brother. He is.
Okay.
But you know, more on the fact that you know he's passionate about Black Lives Matter, which is
yes.
because Black men matter too.
It's
So,
his mind that
it
we're in love
is.
with.
I know it is. You know, for me anyway. I don't. No, we like smart man too. No, yes. I mean, I just wanted to touch on the fact that he was handing out, you know, Black Lives Matter posters and like just different things around the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And then he talks to Carlotta and says like, you know, don't sleep on the movement.
Right.
She's like, boy, do you know who I am? I've been through the movement, which is so funny because I do think that the millennial generation kind of forgets.
We do. I think that we do 100%.
Yeah, because we're always like, no, you don't know what the power movement is and the revolution is. And like the revolution will not be televised, by the way. But
like, we wouldn't even be here without, you know, the work that they did.
Right, exactly. And then, so I was just like, I was happy that she kind of shut him down. And I think that was a shout out to the millennial generation too. Like, stop tripping.
Like, remember, it was, you know, part upon those backs of your grandparents and parents that fought the good fight so that you could forget for a second that things were, I mean, 50 years ago isn't really that long.
It really isn't.
You know,
that's not that long ago. So.
Okay. And I'm from Texas, and my parents, we have like a 30-something year difference, but growing up, they went to segregated schools. So,
See,
so
like,
I can't ever
forget that was so recent. I need to not do that.
Absolutely.
I do know, though, my grandma was picking cotton in the field until she was in the 3rd grade.
See?
And then her older sisters and siblings, like, grabbed her and took her up north. But, like, that's not that long ago.
No.
It's not. No,
it's not at all.
I mean, most of the rights that we have today were less than a decade ago. Yeah. Or not a decade, but a century.
So shout out to Lee Daniels for getting all those issues in and
I know. I'm so excited. I just love it. You know, whatever. Whatever.
I haven't said anything.
But no,
hey, original Big Daddy. That's
But no, and so then we get to see a flashback of Carlotta and Jahil, which we see that they did have a relationship together, which is so. I mean, it's not. I didn't see that coming though. I did. I mean, I saw that they probably had something going on, but I thought it was gonna just be Pastor Harris. Like I thought maybe they just did some things together, but I didn't think it was gonna be like a romantic.
I mean, I was not surprised by the development just because if you remember in the first episode when she first went to his place and, you know, they had that argument. He was like, you got fat and you know what happened and all those things. To me, it just, I know obviously that's a personal comment and it is something that a manager could just say to his artist, but there is always, especially in girl groups, somebody that has a romantic connection, usually to a producer or a manager or something like that, that kind of gets in between the middle. So I didn't expect that he also would have something with Mary, but I wasn't surprised to hear it.
I was just glad that we finally got to see some flashbacks.
That was
I was
good.
hoping that we would get to see more of like Jahil and Carlotta.
I was over it. Yeah, and Mary.
And Mary. See her see more of her element or whatever instead of her just singing, telling Simone like, "Come on to heaven." But you know, I was glad we finally got to see some flashbacks.
Yeah, that was really fun to explore this episode. Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. And then we see that he was favoring Mary, saying that because when we'll tell you all about Carlotta's input on the song that she was singing in the studio, but. He was, you know, saying, oh, like, she's so wonderful, and let's give her more studio time, let's put more lights on her. And he tells, you know, Alex later on that, oh, well, she actually was jealous of them together, or her being, like, more, I guess, talented.
But isn't that always a man's perspective, usually, that's in the wrong?
Jealousy.
Something like this. Why are you tripping? Why you tripping, boo? Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm just trying to make this group great, and you are interfering by letting your emotions get in the way, and, you know, just blame. I feel like that's ego, and that's just what a man that's doing wrong, especially in a situation like that, is going to say.
And it's just so played out.
I just think it's awful because her jealousy comes from his actions. Do you know what I'm saying?
She was provoked.
That's what's really hard to watch when they're like, oh, you're the jealous one.
She
well, that's
didn't
because you
initiate
kept
that,
not giving her the credit she deserves.
Exactly.
Right, message to men. It's not we're not just
to
crazy.
Some men.
Okay, yes. Message to some men. It's not just us like, oh, I'm just, you know, just super, super territorial. Well, I mean, I would prefer territorial over jealous.
Over not caring? Oh, okay.
Or no, like envious or jealousy. Yeah. Like, I mean, being territorial is like, okay, what's mine is mine. Like that type of thing. But then when it comes to, oh, well, you're just jealous of her. But no, you're putting the spotlight on her, so.
Yeah.
You know, she might be the up-and-coming vocalist. She might even be what we need for this song. But you don't got to be all in her face like that, especially if we're dating. You know? That's a problem. And
absolutely. And Jahil brings we have to figure out her name. The runaway girl.
I don't know her name. I was wondering
somebody in the comments, because y'all like to tell us everything else. Please.
Well, tell us her name.
We need it.
we need it, right?
We need it.
But she comes to the shop. I like that they've implemented her.
Yeah.
Now that she's like a different, you know, spectrum. I don't know if what's the other lady's name? She's a hairdresser in there. Not a lady. Well,
Miss Bruce.
Miss Bruce.
Oh.
Yeah. So. I know. I really didn't know how to say that, but no.
Miss Lawrence.
Miss Lawrence.
Miss Bruce. No, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say Miss Bruce.
It is
Miss Bruce.
It's Miss Bruce.
Yeah.
They, them pronouns, because I don't know.
Yeah, no. I mean,
Miss Bruce.
No fair, no foul. Or no, yeah. But no, and then the girls go to they're spectating the performance that they're getting, like, what is it called? The Atlanta
Fest?
Best Fest.
Or
Atlanta's like,
I
got
down.
it right here.
The Atlanta Next Fest.
Atlanta
I did not know that
we
until
knew
I saw
it was
written down.
something with an X, S, Best, West, something.
And and the girls meet another girl group, and
That was
they're
fun to
like
see.
shading
That was
them.
fun to watch. The
Glamour.
competition is ruthless.
And an all black girl group too at that. So
and they're good.
Yeah, and
Their harmonies, woo!
I know.
Tell it.
Yeah.
Talk
They
about
were
it.
on
And you would think that like Star probably would have approached them. Well, no, I guess it made sense because they went up to their table and was like, you know, what are you guys doing here? And they're like, oh, we're just spectating. And then they're like,
Right.
oh, well, if you want to get to, you know, making the audition, you have to get past us first.
And we don't know. They must have made it to the top 20. Like, we
don't
don't know
know.
that yet, but I'm excited to see them compete
Did they,
further
or
on.
was it just for moment for shade, and are they even relevant anymore? But they gave them a name and another
They
spot,
gave them a
so,
name.
you know, might be.
I think we're going to see more of them.
I mean,
And
I
it's
hope
not
so.
going to be pretty.
You know, yeah. I mean, but I guess. I mean, I just thought it was just so petty in that sense because I was just like,
Oh, it was.
okay.
I wonder if Hunter was messing with one of them. That's what came to my mind when he knew. Because how did he know the name of the group and that they were kind of competition? That was interesting to me. I was like, are you thotting and bopping with one of those girls?
Cotton and bopping though.
Oh God.
That's
But-
I didn't even think about that,
That was
but I
immediately
see
what
it.
came to my mind because just how
Well-
professional athletes can be.
True. I mean, I hope so. I hope it blows up in her face. Because
Wow.
I do. I hope I do, Star. I do.
Well, well, we'll get to that.
Right. It blows up in her face. But no, so, and Alex and Star discuss new songs and a new brand. And Alex wants to use the song that their mother did for the competition. And Star's still saying no, but the auditions are in 2 days. Star is still texting Hunter, which is interesting because we kind of foreshadowed it because we didn't know like if she was really into. I think, like I said, I think she's just into playing men, and that's kind of ended up like.
I think that's what we all kind of settled with.
And
Yeah.
a sponsor. I think she knew we're gonna need
has
some
resources,
things, and he has a
and
lot
he
of
became that
resources. So, Hail couldn't get him to kick in. I got something he
can do
doesn't.
Yeah. Right, exactly. And then we see Pastor Harris and Carlotta. Pastor Harris wants Carlotta to be the lead of the choir.
To direct
So
the
that's
choir, yep.
right. And she's kind of like, I don't really know. She wants to focus more on the girls. So I mean, I think she should focus more on the girls because I mean, I think that would be good too. But I don't feel like she has that type of time. And she's kind of going back and forth in her mind about the guy being killed, and I think just her feeling some type of way about Jahil focusing on Star too.
I think
And
it's a lot of things too. I think that she also still ultimately knows with the music industry, no matter what, I think she's resolving those feelings of the girls being involved, how to parent them. We still remember there was mention last week that she lost the girls. We haven't gotten into that really yet.
I need
so
to know.
There's a few things that are happening that I feel as though Carlotta might be conflicted about.
Yeah.
And she's kind of in a weird way seeing history repeat itself with
Yes.
Alex
Yes,
and
she is,
Star. And
absolutely.
she's probably
Yes.
coping with her own emotions about the whole thing, and her
Yes.
own emotions with Mary.
Right, and which
Which-
is why. And oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're cool.
No, I was gonna say Star is pretty much like when they play the video and they're like, oh, let's do the song, and she's like, no, I'm not anything like my mother, and it's just like, girl, what is? I don't understand. I'm just so over it. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, and then pretty much Alex tells her to get over it. Like, you need to.
That kind of stung me a little bit. She
That
was
was
like,
hard.
"Get over
It
your
was
mother." I was
real,
like,
but it was
"I'm happy."
hard.
That
You do.
hurts.
I think that, to me, I know it was harsh, but I don't think she meant get over the death of her mother. I think she meant get over the bitterness
Yeah.
that you have
Yes.
attached to it
Yeah.
and anything associated with her. You know, how old was Star when her mother died? She knows that she passed
Yeah.
away from drugs. And so I think that is where the resentment comes from.
Yes,
And she
absolutely.
says that how she like hates her mother and how she left and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but ironically, you're taking kind of the same path as your mom. So
Right.
why be opposed to good music?
Exactly.
You know, I mean, you want to sing, you're not like, I can't sing because my mother sang. I can't be in a group because my mother was in a group.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
I feel like a lot of their music, I've loved the music, but I don't know if there's been a lot of true emotion behind it.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that her dealing with her mother and going back into finding her mother's music and figuring all this stuff out will allow the entire group to have more
like
passion and
bubblegum
yes,
pop to you.
Yes.
It's dry.
I love the
superficial?
music. I really do love the music, but it just doesn't have that
soul.
Yeah.
It's it's
missing.
Absolutely.
Exactly. So we see that Star meets up with Hunter. That's kind of become like her new boo. And she asked, can she use his card?
Did she ask?
That's
or did
what
he
I'm confused
She
about.
asked.
Did she? She did.
She asked. Well, he suggested,
like
but
He brought it up
offered it.
first.
No,
that
I feel like they were. The moment when they were in the diner and they were having the conversation and he opened up about how his father used him as a human shield and those things, I feel like that was one of the first real connection moments that they had. Kind of like when Alex and Derek connected. I feel like we're starting to peel back the layers of Hunter and sort of seeing Star seeing Hunter in a different light.
And I was happy that he said, like, he gave her some, like, type of humbling experience that he's gone through, because she has it in her mind that she's been shit on just the hardest out of everybody in the world. And it's just like, girl, no, like, everybody else has problems too. You're not the only one in the world that has issues. Like,
I mean, but she feels like he has money as a place to live, so he has no issue. He's an ATM to her. He's a means to an end.
Yeah.
But I think they started connecting, and I think, you know, he sees something different in her, and he offered. He knows that them beating glamour is important, that she was talking about how the look is important. And at that moment, I didn't feel like she was being manipulative either. I felt like she was really just talking, and I think he recognized that, and that's why he offered his credit card.
I totally agree with you, but who gives someone a credit card and doesn't give a limit?
Okay.
Athletes, professional athletes,
they
all
don't
the time.
say like,
and then get mad about it
this
later?
is what I'm thinking.
Look, Jill knows sports, so she knows.
Let me help you out.
About, like,
let
this
me help
much
you
money.
out. If they are giving a card and not buying, like getting a gift and just giving you a gift or something like that, or going with, you're kind of the boo, and that kind of means I trust you to not be excessive. And normally by that point you kind of maybe know their shopping habits, but that's not the case with Hunter.
That's true.
I didn't think that it was out of the ordinary for him to just hand over the card, because it does happen, especially as he seems to be a little open. And he's trying to also buy his way into her heart. I don't know if heart was the word that I was trying to
I think, I think
remember, they haven't had sex yet at this point.
They hadn't.
Right.
So,
that's true.
you know, that came after.
I mean, oral sex.
What is sex?
Yeah, but he hadn't, you know, gotten the full-on cookie. So,
it could be his way of trying to
wait.
On cookie.
So, and then, you know.
So, and just to mention, and the police have found Otis's car. So we'll get into that later on.
Who killed Otis?
Right.
That's a good
Seriously,
one.
Hashtag who killed
Otis.
And then fast forwarding, we go to the girls at the rehearsal, and Jahil says that Star is the lead, and Alex is like, "Who said that?" And it's
Excuse me.
Right? No, in real life, like, oh, I didn't know that. That's news to me. And then it also touches back on the complexion thing, and then he's saying that she's more talented and she's. But
did he say? Did he say talented, or did he just basically say that? Look, the fact that she's white is an advantage. It's marketable. It's marketable. I don't feel like he played around with whether it was about her talent or anything. I think that one, he has some type of attraction to her.
Yeah,
and
now because he had an attraction to the mom.
Exactly. Right. That might have something to do with it. And two,
I know.
Does he have a point?
No.
Over time. If we're being honest, there are maybe not at this time, but there are tons of groups that come out. There are tons of groups with girls. A group that has a white lead singer singing R&B is always going to be kind of different. It's why Iggy Azalea went over at the time, because it's not so much that her raps or songs, it's the fact that she was a white woman doing hip-hop.
Bieber.
But Justin Bieber, I guess
Justin
difference
Bieber
between
was pop, I feel like, and
Justin
He
Bieber,
was,
though,
but I mean, he would still
was
try.
actually talented, and
I like
Usher,
Justin too.
Justin Bieber.
His last album. I'm sorry.
His last album was great.
No,
it was great.
Talk about it. It was right. It really was good.
It was.
Okay.
But
Sorry.
that in this day and age, there is truth behind that in
Not just this date. I mean, just, look at your John B's, look at your Tina Marie's.
Exactly.
There's so many instances. Even when
Blue-eyed
Justin Timberlake,
soul, that's how they call it. I mean, it's just something about seeing like a white face doing black music.
It's a difference.
It takes off.
Right. It's an angle.
They don't always have the staying power, I think, like black artists do, that they don't really last for decades, but they take off so much quicker.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
I agree with that. And so now the cops have called Otis's wife and let her know that they found the car. And then she calls. She
just picks up her phone
and hits up Simone
and calls Simone.
Yo.
And how did she know to call the house this whole time?
Well, here's the thing. We don't know if Otis told her, I'm going to get Simone back. We don't know how Otis found out where Simone is. I mean, there's, what we established last week was that Simone believes, and judging by this, rightfully so, that the foster mother knew what the foster father, Otis, knew what Otis was doing to her and what was going on, and it worked for her. She just kind of turned a blind eye because it saved her from whatever atrocities he was wearing down on her.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But that escalated quickly.
That escalated fast.
Well, we find out that Jahil and Carlotta were, in the studio, that he was messing around with Mary. We had another flashback. Yeah, another flashback. We flash back to Carlotta pretty much catching Jahil in the act of flirting with
Mary.
And it's just like we said, like, why are you lying? Why are you telling, like, what are you
going to believe me or your lying eyes? Isn't that what they used to say? Isn't that like the old school players say?
Right, yes.
So.
And it's just,
the mind games, man.
Right. And then moving forward again, Alex shows Star the song that they've been remixing, that is their mother's song, and she ends up liking it.
Well, I think, too, the conversation that she had with Carlotta before that, Carlotta came upstairs and was like, you need to apologize. Period. Putting Star in her place. And I think Star recognizes that because she knows that you need Alex.
Right.
Alex pulls it together.
Oh, yes,
you may have had the hustle, you may keep the funds, the money going, but Alex makes sure that you guys are ready to present, that you have good songs and music and everything.
I will say, we've been ripping on Star a lot, and I agree with all that. But this was a good moment for her, that she didn't say she was sorry. I wanted her to say, I apologize. I wanted those words to come out, but she approached her, she was kind, and she was willing to compromise, which was a good out-of-character Star moment.
And I think, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I feel like Alex knew that Star was coming to apologize, and that's why she was just like, girl, you here, I got it, listen. I think that the music is always what takes them back, and so that's why she kind of didn't have to apologize. I feel as though Alex knew she was coming to say sorry, and we're not going to deal with that. We're just going to deal with this song. Yeah. So the music brings them back.
So,
no, that's it?
No, right. Hey. No, so then we jump to the auditions, and the judges don't seem like they're liking the performances they have. Like, I mean, I was looking at their faces, and it just seemed like they were just kind of like, this is okay. And then,
this'll do.
And then when the girls come up, they kill it. It's amazing. And so Jahil's like, he goes up to Carlotta and says like, they did amazing. I can't believe, look how how amazing she is and how, how well she does. And Carlotta's like, no, Alex remixed that. Yeah. She did all the work behind that. And he's like, well, what difference does it make? And I think that this highlighted a big issue of culture vulture, where black people do a lot of different things and they don't get credit for it. And it's overshadowed by non-blacks, we'll say.
Yeah.
And I was happy, again, that they brought this up because Lee Daniels, he's just doing all these underlying messages. And I'm no, seriously, like, I was very happy because, I mean, I just think oftentimes black people do a lot of different things that contribute to society. And it's like, when you do it, you get an A on it. But when you copy my work, or when you copy my work and you get an A, and I get what?
A C.
Okay, average. Average. It's average, which goes into you guys saying like, you put a white face on R&B, and it works. Yeah. It works. But we know that where that genre of music comes from. So
it reminded me of Hidden Figures. You guys seen Hidden Figures? Yeah. And you once again you think to yourself, that was then, but
shout out to the
still
Swords
happening.
and theirs and Hidden Figures.
Hey. What a trigger though. Like, I've been in that situation before where I presented something and they might not even take my idea, or they do, but then I don't get the credit for it. And but then you don't want to look like the jealous black woman.
Or that you're being petty, because if you speak up, then it's the angry black woman.
Or let it go.
syndrome.
You contributed to this company, to this group or whatever, so we're good now.
This is a group effort, all the team, but we don't get the promotions or the pay.
Come on now.
Okay. But whatever. Right, but that's gonna end soon.
Everyday life.
Okay. So we go to commercial break and Jahil's gotten kidnapped.
Right.
Like we didn't know that wasn't gonna. Right. Like we didn't know that was gonna happen because I'm.
See, I just thought that they would just take him out. I didn't think that they were going to kidnap. I mean,
they want to make him suffer.
No more
Yeah, I think so too.
I mean, I thought the idea was when he was sitting in the thing last week, in the car last week, the hitman or whatever he was just kind of like, yeah, he's got to pay. Maybe they think they'll get the girls back. I don't know.
Ooh.
I will say though, I didn't think he was gonna get his, so to speak, this episode. I thought he was gonna have one more episode to kind of like lay low and do as he pleases.
Well,
I didn't think he was gonna get abducted.
So
do you think that he's going to be their manager long, or do you think they're going to find someone else?
I
want to know what your answer is before I answer my own question.
I mean, I think Cotton's gonna step up. I mean, I don't know. I just have this hope. I hope that she does because she's well-rounded enough, and I feel like this will be kind of like her guinea pig when it comes to managing.
She also
that's
knows
who
the
I think
game,
killed
too.
Otis. But anyway,
I think so too.
That makes sense. If she did, that would pull everything together, but it would also be very predictable. I'm gonna say I think so.
I don't know.
I mean, because she's the last person. I mean, but like I said, besides Alex, because someone in the comment section said Alex too, and I was like, thank you. It's not just me. I think Alex killed him too. I don't know, but it would to me, not to like shade on it, but I do think that it probably would. It makes sense if it was her. I think
Both
so.
of them. Yeah.
So,
Well, what do you think?
right, yeah, right, Sheldon. Right, because you had us go.
I had you go.
right.
I think I would probably go with Cotton too. I think Cotton did it. I don't think it was Carlotta. I think Carlotta knows, and she's wanting to bury the secret and wants to protect Cotton.
True.
Because she loves Cotton.
Okay, no, I'm on your team now.
Yeah.
I'm on your team.
Join us.
That makes right.
Cotton or Alex, you guys let us know in the comments. We think it's one of those two.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
So,
no, I was just saying the kidnapping. Yeah, man.
I know that's but. And then they like throw him in this dungeon and like put. I'm just like, okay, this is just so.
That was kind of typical.
It was so cliche, but at the same time, I mean, I think they still need him though. There's still a need for him. I mean, I think that if they would have offed him, then they wouldn't have needed him anymore. Plus, it wouldn't have progressed the show.
I think after this competition, I don't know if they're gonna win, but I bet they're gonna do well, and I think there's gonna be a prospect for a new manager.
I can see that
Going into predictions early
and they
by
should
accident.
take that off.
Right. Well, I wanted to jump into Star in Bed with Hunter.
Oh, please.
Yes.
Oh, please. Yes. So, first of all, the mom burst in while they're about to do round 2.
That was awkward.
That was
awkward. She just walks
she
in
was,
like nothing's going on.
Here's the thing.
Happening.
Again,
the thing is,
professional athlete that she lives with, I guarantee you that she's seen that several times
absolutely.
before. There's probably been a merry-go-round of women that kind of roll through, and he is the big money guy. So only so much she can say.
Yeah, so mom ain't gonna say none.
And she's the one that drops the bomb.
Star didn't seem unnerved by it. She just turned around like, hey, boo.
And that's the
She said, you want to join?
That is sick.
She's so nasty.
That's sick. That's his mom.
But she's been there before. It's survival of the fittest.
Somebody's mother.
She's probably like, let me get a check off of you.
But him and his mom and her,
It was a joke.
It's a joke.
But it was a power play. It was a power play move.
It definitely was, and it's just like Star.
Another Star moment.
Right.
But
and
guess
she
who made the queen move?
Right. She dropped the bomb saying that, your account says that you spent $20,000. And Hunter goes off on Star like, what's going on? And she says, well, I mean, you didn't tell me that. You didn't give me a limit.
You said we went a little overboard.
I asked you, are you sure? Right, I asked you, are you sure? And he said, I trust you. And then, but I was so happy. He threw that shirt at her. And when I tell you,
wait. Can we back up for a second?
Go ahead.
The mother called Star a dirty thong.
Right, yes.
I have never heard that either. I was like, a dirty thong?
But a dirty thong. Yeah. Well, that's accurate. It's very, very accurate. Like,
Star's feelings looked really hurt when she said that, though.
Because she's probably like, my son, like, really, son, like, you just got tricked by this random girl that you don't even know. You've met her, what, a month? This show's been going on. And it's just like, Hunter, you're dumb. Star is clearly the genius behind everything. Yeah. And Hunter, why would I just? But hey, you know, whatever. People do what they want to do.
He's starstruck.
I was happy he threw that shirt at her.
Is
that mean? Is that mean?
Well, you know, we aren't against violence against women, so throwing a shirt in her face rather aggressively. I don't know.
I wasn't for that. No.
On the bed.
No,
he threw it at.
Regardless,
he threw it.
It was very aggressive.
Her.
It was aggressive,
was
and I'm not
aggressive.
for violence either. But that T-shirt did not hurt you.
No, I know. I'm just.
You okay? Star, you okay?
He threw that shirt
you hate her
at
so
her.
much.
You are okay.
In her face. That's what he did to say, like, he was angry.
Well,
He felt played.
Yes, and then she played him again because then when she left the mansion,
She goes again.
the paparazzi were out there waiting for her.
You know what I was thinking? I was thinking that he's probably mad, so out of spite, he calls paparazzi on her. I was thinking that. It was
Let me tell you why. Yeah. That doesn't help him. She's still coming out of his house, and he looks like the fool because this dirty thong coming out,
or maybe
in
even
a T-shirt.
The mom.
Walk of shame.
The mom might have done it to embarrass him.
Exactly,
but
because
she
she's
came
mad.
out in a T-shirt with her shoes and dress. I mean, not dress.
And she was scared at first, then she started posing.
And then she's like,
because her mind
And then she pulled it down her shoulder. I was like, oh, girl.
And she showed her little bra. No, she pulled it over so they could see the lace of her bra.
Yeah.
I saw that move. Star's a pro.
But then again, it's like, hey, that's survival of the fittest, whatever that covers, I guess. It's like she's doing this. She's branding herself. I mean, in a bad way, which I don't, but she's definitely become.
Well, but that's how it starts. You have to have a scandal as well.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, and unfortunately, you have to now. Unfortunately,
right.
Okay, because that's not how you should come to fame.
It's the fastest way to get attention.
It is, and that's so unfortunate. But then again, Alex was saying previously in the episode that we need to get more followers, we need to get our name out there.
And she's like, done it.
Yeah, right. And she
I got you.
And she's quick on her feet. It's so weird how quick on her feet she is, but. In the end, Carlotta does step up and becomes the choir lead. So, and then we see...
And that was a good wig, I just want to say. I liked that church wig.
Hashtag Carlotta's wig.
I'm mad at this wig.
This was like kind of like, it had the little like feather effect.
It looked like Raquel's hair. It was burgundy.
This is not a wig, everybody.
No, it's not a wig.
I know. Just for anybody who wants to ask, this is me.
Don't do that.
Okay, thank you. No, I'm just kidding. No, I know. I'm all jokes.
It was good.
No, thank you. I'm glad that my hair can be compared to a wig. That's actually a low key compliment.
I get that sometimes too.
No, for real.
Is that a wig? Is that a sewing?
I know. It's like, okay, that's cute. Thank you. All right.
That means you have healthy hair.
Right. Check, please.
Bouncing and behaving.
Right. And so we end the episode with Jahil being locked up. He's in the darkness all alone. The karma got back to you, Jahil. I'm sorry, boo.
She's singing her little church songs, and meanwhile he's getting his ass beat.
Right. With this, it's just, hey. But, so that brings us to predictions.
Your AfterBuzz TV prediction.
All right.
Woo. I really don't know. I think that we're going to finally find Otis's killer next episode. And then obviously, because we saw in the previews that she's going to blow up, Star's going to blow up in the news feed, and pretty much Alex is over Star again. Yeah.
Why was Carlotta crying? Do you think Jahil died or he's in the hospital?
It could be anything. It could have been his girlfriend, that we don't know her name, came and said, Jahil's missing.
True.
I haven't seen him. I don't know what happened to him. Or somebody crazy came to the house again looking for X, Y, and Z. There's, so much we don't know. We always know we get thrown a curveball every episode.
Right.
And then it's like at 1 minute you were potentially gonna kill him, and then now you're like super sad because he's
so what is she crying about?
Because she has always loved him. She lost him to another woman. That is some unresolved feelings there that we see, even though she has a new good church.
And maybe that's why she never gave Pastor Harris really a try, because she was so caught up on Jahil.
Ooh.
Perhaps.
Okay.
I'm
weak. I'm so
funny. Yeah. So that's my predictions. That's all.
Sheldon.
I think either in the next episode, the foster mom or the cops are going to show up to Simone and Star asking if they know what happened to Otis.
Okay.
And I think, too, because the way this show is, that might even happen backstage before they go on to perform.
Ooh,
or
throw
like
everything off.
Yes, I think it will have potential to throw everything off.
That foster mom might come back too.
I think she will.
She's gonna come, yeah. But then it's like, where are these kids at? I just need, like, come on now.
I don't think she's gonna go very far because she has those kids, and that's like the.
Do you think she knows?
The responsibility of what?
I think she has a feeling.
Yeah.
That
Do you
he's
think
dead?
that? Yeah.
Because I think she probably had a feeling. She knows he was found in Star's bed. Stabbed.
Yeah.
So, I mean, in Simone's bed. Simone went missing. Do you know? So she knows what he was doing. So I'm sure she has an inkling of what happened and how he ended up stabbed up.
She low-key might be a good person in her life, though, too.
Maybe.
I think she might turn her life around.
We will not
say
shoot
that.
through it to the
Her
wolves.
baby. She
Yeah.
can protect her baby.
My prediction is they start panicking because Hayel has disappeared and he's not at the performance, and that maybe quick starts the process to get him out of there as manager.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
I can see that.
Well, we will see next episode. This has been episode 5 of Star. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. My name is Raquel Harris, and you can find me on all social media at Raquel Harris TV.
I'm Jill Munroe. You can find me everywhere at Stiletto Jill and at JacksonStilettoJill.com if you like sports and pop culture gossip.
All right. And I'm Ivanna Williams. You can find me on Twitter at Ivanna L. Williams or on Instagram at Ivanna.Williams.
And finally, I'm Sheldon White. You can find me on all social media at Sheldon White 2.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.
See you next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz
you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.